Okay, back again, classifying triangles. Triangles have how many sides? 3, right? And there's 3 different kinds, and we talked about this in the last chapter because I remember we went acute, right? And obtuse. Remember how we did that? The obtuse has one angle that's gigantic, that's greater than 90, right? Remember 90 is the corner, so this would be a 90-degree angle right here. This is a 90-degree angle. And so we call this a right triangle because it has one straight corner edge, 90-degree angle. Neither one of these has a 90-degree angle, so they're not right triangles. Remember we did this the last time? Acute has all acute angles. They're all smaller than 90. Obtuse means it has at least one angle, it would just have one, that is greater than 90. Okay? So this is the standard kind of in the middle. Remember when we have our protractor? It's like this, right? And right in the middle is the 90 degrees, right? Okay, so a 90-degree angle is straight up. So if a triangle has a 90-degree angle, it's a right triangle. If it has bigger than 90 degrees, it's an obtuse. If it's smaller than a right angle, it's acute, okay? So this part right here, you really should be able to do. I'm going to do just number 1 with you, and you guys can do the rest because we did this in our last chapter. Okay, so classify the triangle. Do you need to see? Can you tell just by looking at this one what this one is? That's a right triangle. So we're going to write right. It's a right triangle because it has that little square, and what measures a right angle measure? How many degrees is a right angle? It's 90. Okay, so 180, we have to find 2. Normally you just find 1, okay, because you have to have the 2 numbers. But this one, we don't have a number because you're supposed to recognize that as 90. So it's going to be 180 is the total degrees of a triangle, minus the right angle, minus the one we know, 40. Okay, so what's 90 plus 40? Bring that 0 down, and what's 9 plus 4? 13. Okay, now 180 minus 130 is 50. So this little angle right there, this one, if you want to use your protractor to check their work, it should be about 50. Okay, so that's what you're going to do on all of these. This is the only one that didn't have two measurements because you're supposed to recognize that as 90. But these already have 2. So I'll do this one with you. 180 minus 60 and 60. What do 60 and 60 equal? Bring down those zeros, and 6 plus 6, 120. So what's 180 minus 120? If you can't do it in your head, you can do it like that. That equals 60. Remember, all 3 of these are the same. So if all of these, we already did a, well, you are going to use one of them twice. Okay, so it doesn't have any right angles, so it's not a right triangle. Is it obtuse or acute? In order to be obtuse, it has to have one angle that's bigger than 90. Does it have an angle that's bigger than 90? Let's see. This one's 60, this one's 60, and we just found out that this one is 60. So is there any that are bigger than 90? No. So it's acute. Okay? So then if you have one that has a right angle, it's a right triangle. If it's bigger, if it has one that's bigger than 90, it's obtuse. I'm going to let you do these 2. This one again only has 1 number because you should know what that is. This one has 2 numbers. So those 2 numbers go here. You still use the 70 plus this number that you should know and figure those out. That we've done before. All right, then it says a triangle can be classified by the length of its sides. Okay? If all sides are equal, this has 16, 16, 16. So this is 16 millimeters. This time it's not degrees. They're not measuring the angles. They're measuring, like with a ruler, how many millimeters that is. So it's 16 millimeters by 16 millimeters by 16 millimeters. They're all equal. We call that an equilateral. There's the word equal in there. Equilateral triangle. It has the word equal. Okay? I like this word. Isosceles. Do you like that? Isosceles. I don't know what it makes me think of. It looks a little bit like the word icicle, but it doesn't sound like icicle. Isosceles has two sides that are the same. Okay, so this is 21 and 21. So this side and this side are the same measures. So it's isosceles. It's like I spy. I spy, sillies. Two sides the same. Okay, and then this one, scalene. Reminds me of scalene, like scales, like on my snake. Okay, snake, scalene. Okay, the scalene one has no sides the same. Okay, so they're all over the place, but they still have to equal how many? They still all three have to equal 180, and they do. We don't have to know that right here though. It's just that none of them are the same, we call it scalene. If two of them are the same, we call it isosceles. I saw two two same angles. And equilateral, equal, all three sides the same. So we're going to classify the triangles. Okay, so I'm going to just do, well, yeah, I'll do them all with you. Okay, so this one, are any of those the same? Nope. So that is scalene. Okay, this one has two that are the same, but not the other one. That makes it isosceles. I hope I spelled that right. That's not a word I write every day. Yep, it's right. Okay, and then this one, two sides same. That one kind of looks like it's all the same, but it's not. One of them's not. So we call it again isosceles. My favorite word, we get to do it twice. And then this one, 3, 3, and you can't see that, but I'm pretty sure that's 3. Because this one is all sides are equal. So it's equilateral. Equilateral. I think I might have, is that supposed to be? Yeah, as I say, I didn't think it had the word equal in it. You had to come up with its equilateral. Equilateral. It almost has the word equal right there, but it has the word L. Equal, or equal spelled wrong. Okay? Then it says down here, write the answer and explain. They don't give us a place to explain, so we're just going to explain with our mouths. It says, can an isosceles triangle have side lengths of 8, 9, and 10? No. Why? Because it has to have two that are the same, and they're not, right? It says if the measure of an angle is in an equilateral triangle is 60 degrees, what is the measure of the other two angles? Okay, it has to equal 180, right? So we subtract 60, and that equals 120, and divide 120 by 2. 2 goes into 12. 0, 60. So 60, 60, 60. All of them have to be 60. So anytime you have an equilateral triangle, they're all going to be 60, 60, 60 because there's no other way to do all three sides the same and equal 180. So you can remember that. Okay, then on the back, it says to use the chart to identify the type of triangle. It says, what type of triangle did Sadie make? Okay, Sadie made one that is 36, 32, and 51. So what kind of a, I'm not going to give you the answer to these. You guys are going to do this. Otherwise, you have not hardly anything to do on this paper. Okay, so if you don't remember which kind of triangle has all three different sides, flip the paper over and look at the page, the description. Then it says, what type of triangle did Mitchell make? Mitchell's is 25, 25, 25. Which one has all three the same? Go look over on the other side if you don't remember. And Perry, 19, 39, 39. Two of the same, but not that one. So what kind has two the same? You write these answers. Then down here, write the answers. What's the sum of the three angles of a triangle? I've been saying it over and over and over, and we said it in the last chapter too, so I'm going to leave that for you. Acute angles are less than how many? Obtuse angles has at least one angle that's more than what? How many degrees? Okay, these two answers are degrees. All of these are degrees. Okay, perpendicular lines form what kind of angles? Okay, we haven't had that question today. I'm going to help you on that one. Remember, okay, parallel lines and perpendicular lines, remember, were those. We didn't talk about that today. What kind of a angle are all of those angles? I'll give you a hint. Every one of them has a square corner. So what kind of angles are that? Perpendicular lines form what kind of angles? I'm not going to tell you, but this time it's not a degree. It's a name of an angle. Okay? Then it says to identify the pair of congruent triangles by their angles and sides. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what they want us to do here. Pair of congruent triangles by their angles and sides. I'm not sure what they want here. I can tell this is a angle. Triangles. Okay, see, the diagonal makes a triangle here. There's a triangle, and this is a triangle. This one is obviously a 90 degree, and this one's a 90 degree. So that makes this one two right triangles. But I don't know what they want there. Let me find my, I don't know if I have my book with me. Please tell me I brought my book. Yes, I did. Hallelujah. I did bring my book. I'm not sure what they want there. Let me check real quick. Sorry, I should have looked at this ahead of time. Okay, well, it's pretty much what it said. Okay, it has right angles. Okay, and so does this one. This one has right angles, right? So these two has right angles. Okay, this angle, that angle, this angle, are any of those right angles? No. Are those larger or smaller than right angles? Right angles like this, right? Are any of, and then that would be like, right angle would be like this, and a right angle would be like this, and a right angle would be like that. So they're all smaller than right angles. So we call those acute angles, right? Okay, and so what, I don't like the way they wrote this. What kind of a triangle has a right, well, okay, look at the triangles, just the triangles. Okay, so look at this triangle here. And does it have all three sides the same? No, there's a 90 degree, there's this angle here, and there's this angle here. So it has, all three sides are different. The kind of triangle makes it a scalene, since the sides are, I guess what they're saying is the sides are all different, so they're scalene sides. Okay, on this one, can you see just the triangle? Just look at this triangle. Can you tell that all three sides are the same? And that makes it what kind of a triangle? Or what kind of sides? Equilateral. I never would have guessed that's what they wanted here. To me, that's a type of triangle, but it's just saying, the sides are not the same, so they're scalene. The sides are the same, so it's equilateral. And then this, you see that triangle in there? Just the triangle. There's two of them on top of each other. But that one has this angle, this little angle, and this little angle. These two little angles are the same. So that makes it what kind of angles, what kind of sides are two the same. That's my fun one. Isosceles. Okay? That one's kind of hard. I'm glad I didn't leave that one for you. Okay, then it says to draw a quadrilateral to match the statements. Remember, a quadrilateral is like a rectangle. It just has four sides. Okay? It says all sides are equal. There are no right angles. Okay. So this, we can't make any like that. So you have to make 4 sides equal lengths. So you're going to need something like a ruler, protractor. It has to have 4 sides and no right angles. So I'm going to make mine 2 inches. And I can't have a right angle, so I'm going to go right here. 2 inches. And then in order to connect them, I'm going to have to do this. Otherwise it's not going to close, and then it's not a polygon because it will be not a closed figure. And then this should be 2. Yep, that one's 2 inches. Okay, so I made all lengths the same and no right angles. So you guys get to try to make one. You can look at mine, but you can't really make it without using something, even if you don't have a ruler, if you just have something like a toothpick or something that's the same length, just make sure each side is the same. And then it says to name the figure. What is that figure? Did we do that today or was that yesterday? Let me look. It was yesterday. We had that shape. Let me grab yesterday's page. No, it was the day before. Okay. It's also in your math folders. Remember we did math folders? Okay, so which one of these, rectangle, square, parallelogram, rhombus, or trapezoid, makes my shape? Which one looks like that? Rhombus. A parallelogram is like the parallel sides, only a rectangle, and a rhombus is like a square. These two are similar. Okay, so back to what we did there. We made that one, and it is a rhombus. You should be making a rhombus also, so go ahead and write that, because all the sides are the same. That's what makes a rhombus without any right angles. Now we got to make one that opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are equal lengths, opposite angles are equal. Okay. Opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are equal lengths. Okay, opposite sides. So it doesn't mean like this. It could be, but we're going to make some of them longer or it's going to end up being a rhombus again. Okay, so I'm going to go 3 inches on these. 3 inches, and let's see. Opposite sides are parallel, so I have to make it exactly parallel to that one. It's not perfect, but it's close. Opposite sides are equal lengths. Okay. So that means on this side, yeah, we'll go this way. This side, it's 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches. Okay, opposite angles are equal. Okay, so there's an angle, there's an angle, they're actually all 90 degrees. And so what shape did we make? We made either a rectangle or we could, a quadrilateral or a parallelogram, or we could have, looked at my book to see. It says you could have made a square because with a square, you've got the same opposite angles are equal, opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are the same. So it could also be a square. Either one. So whatever one you end up making, you have to write it down here. So it's either a rectangle, square, or a parallelogram. Either one of those is a parallelogram. Parallelograms just have to have 2 opposite sides are parallel. That makes a parallelogram. So you get your choice of how you want to name it. Then, number 23. Again, you guys know how to do this now. And I'm going to let you guys do those and draw your shapes, and you don't have much left to do. But remember the unknown angle. How many 3 sides of a triangle equals how many degrees? 180. Okay? So add, you should know what those are. And subtract it from 180. You should know what that one is. Add it to that one. Subtract from 180. Those 3 give them all to you. Okay, so add those up and subtract from 180 to give you that one. And then just write it on the blank. Okay? Easy peasy. See you tomorrow.